Guys, if there's something we hate on this channel, it is false allegations. Men do it, women do it. However, there's not a prevailing narrative on the internet to believe all men. There are, in fact, though, many on the internet who choose to say things like hashtag believe all women. And most recently on the internet, that narrative of believe all women almost ruined the life of a young man named Jonathan Haynes with one of the most insane accusations yet. Let's talk about it.
Welcome back to TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from Amala. She ruined this man's life, and then we learned the truth. Again, false allegations have always destroyed men's lives, even after the truth comes out. Please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. Let's get to that chow. It's chow time.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better.
Guys, before we get into this video, if you'd like to support the work I'm doing on this channel, consider becoming a patron on my Patreon. The link is in the description down below. I try to keep host red ads off of this show for your sake, so consider becoming a patron, and thank you to everybody who's done so far. Now, we all know there's a lot of fake garbage on the internet. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten myself personally invested.
Same. Sometimes it's hard for me to notice if they're skits. Sometimes if the story's real or not. You know, people get upset at me. It happens. You know, I'm not perfect.
In a video or a post, and then I come to find out that it is in fact false. There are actors creating it. Somebody made up the story. But this one that we're going to talk about today, I think takes the cake. Whoa! So I'm scrolling on Twitter.
Those cake shows are fucking crazy.
Looking at everybody's posts, looking at things for this show, things to talk to you guys about, and I see a post of text messages, supposedly from a man named Jonathan Haynes. And it's a girl giving—
Yeah, I covered this story with Aber and Preach, but they didn't cover like the news side of it, the reporting side of it much, and she does, so I just wanted to cover that.
A warning to those who are living in the city of Raleigh, North Carolina. She's saying, watch out for this guy. He has HIV and he is knowingly spreading it to women without a care in the world. And here are text messages from supposedly Jonathan Haynes saying exactly that. Now, side note, these are supposedly text messages between Jonathan Haynes and his now ex-girlfriend. They were not posted on X by his ex-girlfriend. It was in fact another girl who came across these text messages floating on the internet and decided to post this as a warning to women in Raleigh, North Carolina.
That sounds so suspicious. Some random girl on the internet somehow got these text messages and felt righteous to post them so warn out of the woman. How did she get these messages? What the hell?
Carolina. Now, the blue text messages represent the ex-girlfriend. The gray ones are Jonathan Haynes. Let's read. The ex-girlfriend says, I got back my results. I'm sure you already know what I'm about to ask. How long did you know? Jonathan says, nah, I really apologize. The girlfriend says, Jonathan, how could you do this to me? My life is done. He says, I just couldn't pass up on you. I wanted you so bad, man. I really apologize.
The conversations is pretty doctrine. There's no way this is how calm everything is if this was to truly happen.
I wish it would have never gotten this far. She says, I'm so hurt. I can't forgive you. He says, I've had HIV for about 7 months now. I'm so sorry, with a broken heart emoji. She says, we planned a future. He says, please forgive me. She says, 7 months, question mark? Now, alongside this screenshot is a post of Jonathan Haynes and his face, and it says, there go his actual page. Somebody plan a trip. Let's go.
So they straight up docked his ass with his face and everything, huh?
Essentially, they're insinuating, here's this guy's face, we need to find him, and there needs to be retribution for what he's done to this girl. Now, there are more texts floating around on the internet, and I'm sure you can find them if you search, but you get the general idea that Jonathan knowingly gave this young girl HIV, and that he just, all in all, does not care about the fact that he's done this to her. Now, when I came across these texts, they had millions upon millions of views. People were sharing this, and it was spreading like wildfire.
This is again, this is why most men in our space, in the manosphere, do not believe a lick, hardly ever, of what women say. We almost always take it as false until proven correct, which how everything should be in a sense. Can't just take everybody's word for it.
Jonathan Haynes has HIV. He's giving it to women in Raleigh, North Carolina. We need to find him. We need to stop him. There needs to be legal action. And more so than that, no woman should mess around with this man. The message had spread far beyond Raleigh, North Carolina. And basically the entire United States was knowing that this man was out here doing something dirty to other women and something, quite frankly, illegal. That's
crazy that it went globally to the like all of the United States in a sense. This one little story. Everybody from the United States, everybody's talking about this. Everybody knows this guy now. Like, that's crazy off of a little allegation from a little town, from a little nobody.
The replies were saying there needs to be legal action taken against Jonathan Haynes, that he needs to be sued, he needs to be arrested. And a quick look into state laws will show you that in North Carolina, it actually is a felony to knowingly expose somebody to
As it
HIV.
should be.
Even I was thinking, what the hell is this girl doing taking screenshots of the text and posting them on the internet? She needs to go to the police and have this man arrested.
Exactly. Like, no person in their right mind would be so calm about receiving HIV from a partner like that. As like, there's no way that text exchange would have been just like that. There's no way.
But of course, I should remind myself that the year is 2024 and half the stuff that's posted on the internet is fake. And this story is no exception because it turns out Jonathan Haynes decided to respond to the allegations against him. He took to the internet saying that he does not have HIV, that he did not knowingly spread it to his now ex-girlfriend, and that she is in fact creating fake text messages and posting them on the internet in order to paint a certain picture of him. Now, there is still room for the story to develop and new things to come to light, but it seems as though what we found out so far is that these are in fact false allegations created by Jonathan Haynes' ex-girlfriend Nadine. Now, we'll get to the real proof in a second here, but obviously Jonathan was super upset by this news, his family was super upset by this news, and they started coming out in droves to defend him and to call out Nadine. This is allegedly a video of Nadine admitting that the HIV allegations are in fact false.
Himself because of all this going on and he know it's false. Y'all don't know how this man feeling. Whoever.
I keep saying it's false. I keep saying it's false. He tagged me in his
Okay, exactly. That's what I'm saying. If we know it's false, everybody know it's false. Somebody need to go on these pages, let them know that it's false. Y'all need let instead of just letting this shit drag on. This nigga get, you feel me? His name get tarnished.
It doesn't feel like she's doing much to try to mend this. It really doesn't.
It's like this ain't right.
Now, I've heard of both men and women doing some crazy things in the wake of a breakup or when they're mad at an ex-boyfriend, but this is an entirely new level. The amount of devious, malicious energy you have to falsely accuse somebody of not only having HIV, but transmitting it to you without you knowing is absolutely insane. Not to mention that it is defamation of character, and if Jonathan Haynes and his family have their wits about him, they will go after her hardcore for this. Because
I mean, even if she doesn't have anything to her goddamn name, which I don't believe she does, you still need to do this. As men, we need to hold women accountable. We need to just throw the book at them and throw the whole encyclopedia if we need to, right? Because they need to understand there's consequences to actions, and if they keep getting away with this, they're just going to keep accusing men and nothing's ever going to happen to them. No, we got to fucking hold them accountable.
Because, of course, this caused a lot of turmoil for Jonathan personally, having these allegations float around, having people hit him up on the internet saying that he has HIV, people calling for his death online. So much so that he decided to post on Instagram that he was going to commit suicide. Here's the post of him saying, "That's it, I'm committing suicide. Y'all ruined my life. I'm innocent. Y'all really came to where I lay my head, bullying my family and stalking them. Y'all want me gone. Well, congrats. I'm ending it all. Goodbye." Now,
This is what false allegations do. You know how many men cannot get out of these types of allegations? Especially, when it comes to the workplace and it comes to other things. This is why a lot of men take their own lives. To battle through something like this, now he's going to be ruined for quite a few years because this story isn't going to die down anytime soon. The people that don't believe him still don't believe him. Why? Because still people don't believe that Amber Heard is a bad actor. There's plenty of people still think that Amber Heard is perfectly within her rights to shat on the man's bed and cut off his finger. There's still people in the world that think this. So it's not crazy to think that there's still people in the world after this story comes to light that he doesn't have HIV that still think he's lying, that he still has it anyways. That's how the world works when false allegations are already thrown out there without any type of research, without any type of thing.
Luckily, it seems as though Jonathan decided not to take his own life, and instead, he went to a clinic, ended up undergoing STD testing, and came out with his results being negative for HIV. And here is the proof of that. So not only do you have an STD allegation circulating on the internet, you have a felony allegation circulating on the internet, and in order to repair that, you have to share your personal medical records online for the entire world to see to clear up an entirely fabricated story from an ex-girlfriend. And even
It didn't even fully clear it up. That's the shitty part. He had to expose his own medical records to still have people think that he's a fucking liar. They don't believe men. Nobody cares about our feelings. We're just ATM machines, non-human ATM replicants. That's all we are to women. We don't have emotions. We don't hurt. We don't cry to ourselves. We it's crazy that women just think we're just robots.
Even with all that being said, this story is going to follow Jonathan Haynes for presumably the next few years. On top of that, think of all the psychological trauma that he now has to deal with due to this conflict. And
it's not just him. His whole family. Everybody harassed him, harassed his family, went to where... That is one of the most unnerving things, is to have your home be compromised. And this gentleman's home was compromised by the public. He literally said it. They came to him where he lays his head. How can you sleep well at night knowing that people can come that know where you live, that have a very disdain for you, that even are willing to take your life, know exactly where you live? How can you feel safe by that? You really can't.
And will she ever be held to account for what she's done? I don't know. I surely hope so. I hope he takes it upon himself to, at the very least, bring her to court for defamation. Because we have to start setting examples for why this is not an okay thing to do. And still, people on the internet will post the hashtag #BelieveAllWomen, that anytime a woman makes an allegation, she is to be believed no matter what. But of course, many of us know that that is a ridiculous narrative to be promoting.
Again, I really love Cat Williams' interview where he's, liars are gonna lie. Who knows why these guys lie? They just want to lie. And it's crazy to think that people are like, they have to have a reason to lie? No. Half the time, people don't have to have a reason to lie. People lie to you about being famous. People lie about being rich and well off. Does it really benefit them? Not really, but they're still gonna lie about it. So it's crazy to think that women don't lie at all for any particular reason, especially when you can get ahead in life through lying.
Women lie. And we know that people do it when they stand to benefit from the lie that they share. And in the case of some women, sometimes their hatred for somebody overpowers their need to tell the truth. And then you get situations like this, which is why it is so imperative that we remind ourselves that it is innocent until proven guilty.
We can't even deal with women now, guys. Like, just denying a woman. Saying that I don't want to be with you because you don't match my criterias. She can accuse you of giving her HIV. Just this story coming out just created probably like 10% more MGTOWs out of all of the general public right now. Probably like 2% more passport bros too. What man in their right mind would now want to mess with Western women after seeing such allegations like this? Just get your passport, guys. Just get the fuck out of here.
I even said when I saw this story, my immediate reaction was, oh my gosh, somebody needs to do something about this guy. Now, I didn't tweet it out or spread the text messages that were shared on the internet, but I felt it. And other people did do exactly that. They tweeted at him, they found his accounts, they started stalking him and his family, coming to his house, sending death threats, the list goes on and on. We have to hold back our initial rage and anger when we hear a story like this and actually wait for facts. Because you know what? In this era of the internet, it is quite quite likely that what will come out in the wake of a story like this is something that completely shows it's fabricated. Jonathan Haynes deserved the presumption of innocence, but unfortunately, it has somehow become a privilege that is no longer extended to people on the internet. And if
No, it's not extended to men on the internet. Let's correct that slightly, Alma. I'm not saying that women don't fully get accused this way either, but there is a little bit more nuance for women. But men, again, the encyclopedia is getting thrown at us as soon as somebody says something.
If we do not reinvigorate this idea, we will have more and more stories like this. And where this one didn't end in Jonathan Haynes taking his life, it very well could have. And I hope that the general public right now is realizing that believe all women is stupid. I'm gonna be frank. Not only does it hurt those who are subject to false allegations, it creates a general environment where now we feel as though women can no longer be trusted because of the false allegations placed.
100%, Alma. This is what we're saying. Because of these false allegations, now a good chunk of men just don't believe women. It actually backfired on you guys. Instead of believing all women, now most men don't believe you guys for a lick of shit. Because there's so many of you guys fucking shit up. Crying rape, crying HIV, crying harassment.
By certain women. Even more so than that, it hurts actual victims of things like sexual assault or those who have had STDs transmitted to them from somebody who decided not to share that information. Now when they come forward to tell their story or share the text messages from the supposed ex who did this to them, they are not to be believed. You create a boy who cried wolf situation. Or in this case, I guess a girl who cried HIV because a boy wanted nothing to do with her. She needs to seek help. And while she's seeking help, I hope that she is punished to the furthest extent of the laws on defamation. I'm sure we will have many other stories like this that happen in the future. It's just the nature of the world we live in today. I almost fell for it. I'm sure many of you saw this story circulating online. This is all just to say, keep your radar on for the BS that could be circulating online. And with that, I would love to hear your thoughts on this story surrounding Jonathan Haynes and his ex-girlfriend Nadine. Drop them in the comments down below.